was scary and stuff. No, it never happens. Wow, this is great. You can actually hide behind this thing. This is awesome. Anyway, thank you everyone for coming. We are going to get on with the open mic portion of the evening, and I'm very excited because we've got a bunch of people on the list. So we are going to get started. We're going to say about 3 minutes. So if folks can just keep it however many ever poems you want, but please keep it to about 3 minutes so we can get through everybody so these wonderful folks behind the counter can get home at a reasonable hour, which is closing time at 9 o'clock. So, all right, we are going to start off with someone who has been coming here quite a lot lately, and it is always a treat to hear her. And our favorite summer beverage is the question of the evening, so we can get to know just a little bit about you before we hear your poems. And she was number 2 on the list, but now, surprise, she's number 1. Julia, come on up. And your favorite beverage, Black Opal.
Okay. Hopefully I can read this. I started writing this yesterday morning. Okay. I did something big today. I got out of bed. I fought off monsters and demons, but their prison's my head. I'm racked with anxiety, torn up with guilt. I know it's pathetic, it's just how I'm built. I think I glorified tragedy, and I'm addicted to pain. Self-deprecation pours from my mouth like the rain. My soul's growing small because my skin doesn't fit, and hope is a candle too cold to keep lit. I was blessed with a life, but I curse my existence, and my heart always lies when it beats with persistence. It's fragile and weak, but it shouldn't be this tired, and ex-lovers just toss all the parts that expired. I know it doesn't make sense that I have to feel sad, but I call it loyalty, the best friend that I've had. I sabotage heaven to give myself hell, because happy's a color I can't seem to wear well. But okay, call me lazy, because I got nothing to prove, especially on days when it hurts just to move. I'm scared I just wound the earth when my feet touch the ground, or I'm 12 months of failure each time I go round. I'm scared these feet or these hands will be the cause of my death, or my lungs will steal too much air all before my last breath. I'm always begging for love, but I settle for pity. I've got friends, but most nights I just talk to the city. I cried and I suffered, I broke, but I tried. I won't say I'm sorry, I've got no scars to hide. And maybe I'm stronger than I originally thought. So don't you dare say a fighter is something I'm not.
Thank you. Glad to have you here. Our next reader's favorite summer beverage is a root beer float. And that sounds really good right now. Please welcome Alina Goodkin.
Really happy to be here. Thank you. I'm such a shorty. My second month. I have 3 poems. The first one is just a bunch of women trying to make it happen. I have really good friends, intelligent, spiritual, creative, compassionate, tuned in, working their adversities, turning that twist of fate, is their fate, so that positive outcomes glow on their faces. Amazing. I love them. Their mates, partners in life, other halves struggling with narcissism, afflictions, obsessions, compulsions, addictions, wandering eyes, wandering hearts, spiritual crises, career disappointments, or simply dead. My friends are rocks, marching forth like pioneer women who have run out of physical sustenance but never run out of inspiration. Examples, wonderful examples for me. How have I ever been so fortunate to know them, let alone be part of their dog pack? Where does my experience rank among the struggles they surmount with ease? I will never tell. The next poem is called Pancakes. one more minute. I fixed pancakes this morning from scratch because the fear could have been overwhelming if I hadn't done one small life-affirming act. If I had let the nightmare's message permeate my waking thoughts until recognition dawned that soon that horrible dream would be my life. Pancakes, my favorite recipe, made with love for my family, served with a smile. Every cup of flour and every spoon of oil, one step closer, one gesture, one movement further, that any woman would make to connect with what she truly treasures. Am I out of time? Okay. So the third poem will have to be a surprise.
Thank you very much, and we look forward to hearing that poem next month. Up next, we have Allison Olinger, whose favorite summer drink is Arizona iced tea, or green tea, Arizona green tea. No? Or are you not reading for us? No? Okay. Well, we'll just announce that your favorite summer drink is Arizona green tea. You'll find something? Okay. Okay, that's okay. That's okay. We probably should put open mic at the top instead of the bottom, so we'll know that next time. Alrighty, in that case, we'll just move along to Chloe Remigio, whose favorite summer beverage and all-time beverage is lemonade. Yes? Yes, all right. Welcome.
Hi. I feel the need to preface this one really quickly with the fact that this is a secondhand story. My friend asked me, "Do you want to know what she really thinks of you?" I said yes, and that was a bad idea. So I'm starting this out with a secondhand story. It's called For a Friend. Her fingers tapped the table absent-mindedly, opposite palm wrapped around a coffee cup and cradling the minute warmth it provided. Her eyes wandered the cafe, staring blankly at passing strangers and cradling the minute distraction they provided. "Well, I mean," she said with a slight sigh of annoyance, "I would be sad if she died, but..." But what? But what? People grow apart sometimes, my parents say. Middle school friends aren't always your friends for life. But what? You know, it's funny. Even now, if you died, even after all that's happened, I would be devastated, ruined, practically. I would remember when we first met, 6th grade history class, across the aisle from each other, how you were the first person to be kind to me. I would remember when you slept over at my tiny shack of a house and we choreographed the dumbest dance together, how you were the first person to help me be myself. I would remember when we went sledding on a snow day with taco time afterwards featuring a ludicrous amount of tater tots. How you were the first person to make me feel like I wasn't disgusting for stuffing my face. I would remember when you stood up for the both of us against 5 girls, flipping them the middle finger with a determined glare as you walked out of the room. How you were the first person to teach me to be fearless. I would remember when your mother kicked you out of the house. You came to my house, and I made you mac and cheese and made sure not to say a goddamned thing at the bus stop that morning. How you were the first person to trust me. I would remember your laugh and your smile and how you always kicked when you were tickled, and how you never liked barbecue chips, and how you knew every single little detail about the Star Trek original series and how you made me feel. And I would not be sad. I would be crushed. My entire existence would crumble. My whole world would be sucked into the black hole left by the void of you. Even after you left me behind, cut me off without a moment's notice, even after I wasn't good enough for you, even after this mutual abandonment, you are my best friend, and if you died, there would be no words to express how I would feel, much less sad. It's funny, that little disparity. There would never be enough words in the world. There would never be enough words in all the million languages on this godforsaken planet. There would not be enough words in any other language out there that may be for me to describe how I would feel if you died. But you only need 5. I would be sad, but it's funny how it's really not that funny at all. Thank you.
Is this your first time reading at Soul Food Poetry Night?
I read on Saturday a poem that I'm thinking about submitting for
Okay. But the first time for the Thursday night reading. Well, welcome. Please come back. Our next reader's favorite summer beverage is iced tea, and that is Mary Crane.
The lights are bright. Perched on a precipice atop a glacial cirque, a Pleistocene moraine carved out of ice. Familiar scenery askew of a landscape I know well when settled firmly down on solid ground. The day my son moved out, I climbed 1,200 feet, not knowing what the world looks like from here. The sun was February warm, mountain air a sharpened chill, and I hadn't been alone since 1987 with an alpine view a continent away. Untethered feet cross cracks in the rocks, dance on the rim of the sky. Wings and bones fall into thin air of flight, recalling a voice in the wind. My eyes catch white letters on a black shirt, gray curly hair atop a tall frame, an unfamiliar face and meaningless words already forgotten. I'd switch seats 3 times looking for a quiet spot in the coffee shop, settled outside where slivered sunlight now and then would warm my back, away from noisy chatter, background music, and into a steaming mug of green tea and poetry. I read of fireweed and German bombs, but like a butterfly flapping wings across the South China Sea, book in hand, the man with curly hair sits across the open deck, closes in the space surrounding me. I note chips and mosaic tile in the cafe table, my own serious reflection in a nearby window, and am still reading the same poem of fireweed and German bombs. I want to uncover the lines on his face, discover the words held in his hand, but my eyes cast down to contemplate mosaics and my own reflection in the butterfly disturbance and distraction of fireweed and German bombs. I stand up restlessly to fill my mug again with tea, my book face down, spine turned away, for privacy, to shade my defenselessness. He smiles at me. I hold his eyes too long, won't expose animal fear, caged nakedness. I don't smile back. He leaves, and I am alone, with the warmth of splintered sun in a cloud-fractured sky, turbulence in mosaic, and butterfly wings flapping in the atmosphere. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary. Good to hear you again. It's been a while. Up next, someone whose favorite summer beverage is probably the same as mine. Tea, just general tea. Hannah Hendrickson, please come on up.
Hello. How do I do this? That's probably fine. All right. So I
just decided to read this just earlier. And this poem's based off of Claude Monet's water lily paintings, so if you've seen them, keep that in mind. Do not let the title deceive you. These are not water lilies. These are blossoming space perennials, opening their psychedelic petals to breathe in unsuspecting dust particles for sustenance. Assume not that the speckled emptiness between the objects is water. It may be some colorful liquid or gas, but it is no substance that ever graced our planet's surface. And those suspended circles are not lily pads, but are rapidly spinning alien saucers, coasting between the blooms of an atmosphere unknown to any human but Monet. Water lilies, he calls it, to hide the true nature of its being. This is an accurate representation of another world. This is not an earthly scene, but painted with earthly materials to convey to humans an alien message, which they have not yet interpreted as anything other than water lilies. Thanks.
Thank you. Please come and read again. For our invertebrate punsters among us, I'd like to read you a set of my Neon Buddha poems. I have written many hundreds of these poems of the Neon Buddha, and this is a set called Neon Buddha Recycles Jokes. The Neon Buddha tried to catch some fog, but he missed. The Neon Buddha says, German sausage jokes are the worst. The Neon Buddha is addicted to brake fluid, but he can stop any time. The Neon Buddha is reading a book about anti-gravity. He can't put it down. The Neon Buddha is dyslexic and walked into a bra. The Neon Buddha says PMS jokes aren't funny, period. They're only going to get worse. The Neon Buddha makes holy water by boiling the hell out of it. The Neon Buddha says when you get a bladder infection, you're in trouble. The Neon Buddha says when a clock is hungry, it goes back 4 seconds. The Neon Buddha says a broken pencil is pointless. There you go. That's it. I won't inflict any more of those on you tonight, at least not tonight. Our next reader not only has a favorite summer beverage, but also a particular size, a 20-ounce iced mocha, and that is Will Murphy.
And you can get these 20-ounce iced mochas at Soul Foods. Let's give it up for them. Yeah! All right, so I am ashamed to say that these are not going to be the forte of my poems, but I shall share them with you. This one is written during St. Patrick's Day. Splosh limes, judges crimes, muting the baby's cry. Darling, I'm a rambler. God knows I'm a gambler. My crimes are what did me in. Doesn't matter if I come back again. I always be a model of blasphemy and sin. Digging history from a broken trash bin. Dishing crimes in a stew. Drinking victory with a wicked brew. Dishing comedies from a forgotten shoe. Drinks make it hard to think. It's getting hard to see. Still, I spill my ink. A buzzing goes the working bee. Sorry, miss, but the old days I do miss. That is why I drink and drink till I hurl my guts and sleep after a good piss. And I'm actually going to borrow a poem from a good friend of mine. His name is Samuel Lester, and he lives in the Appalachians. and this is a haiku. My tree is bleeding, neglected by ignorance. Time to make amends. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, up next, keep things going quickly and to hopefully not completely mispronounce this next name. Another fan of tea. Yay, tea. I drink tea all day long, drinking it now, as a matter of fact. Decaffeinated, thank you very much. I haven't been around people much lately, forgive me. Johan, did I get that right? Yes, close enough?
Yeah, that's one of the cool things about poetry. You can't really mispronounce a word right. It's a poetic license. I have no idea what this one's about. Yeah. Can rhythm, momentum be felt, heard from the page? Can life experience be mirrored with language? Marred with the lingua? Do physical symbols design the mind? Is memorization a waste of time? Memorize, mesmerize. How many words heard now are their actual size? To inscribe them in stone for future generations won't ensure communication, murmur ancient Egyptians. Not seeing the tree for the mountain. Not seeing the mountain for the sky. Not seeing the sky for the sun. Not seeing the sun because the hint of spring on the breeze has closed my eyes to breathe. This one was inspired by a movie called August Rush. If anybody's a fan of music and good movies, strong recommendation. Amidst metered madness, music marches. Midnight concedes the lead to bullfrogs. Pitch black orchestrates with perfect tempo, while fog carries crescendo through cortex. Membranes vibrate wildly? No. Melody. And one more short one. Saturday, ruled by Saturn, surly overseer of strength. The sharpest of thoughts sailing through space, split with timely precision, as approaching the sound rings through to truth and marrow. Spirit, sensing sublime emanation, realizes ego is all death's scythe can harvest. To be or not to be, no longer the question. Instead, Satori through smoke or Satori through spirits. Or perhaps both, wonders the beautiful woman Janice calls cerebellum.
Have you read it for us here before? Okay, all right. Well, please come back. Okay, we're going to an adult beverage here. Hard apple cider. R.D. Shadowbird.
Kiss and Tell. The old log cabin tavern, Midway, Washington. Went back to visit my old college mentor. But when I found him, Lonnie was feeling a mite peckish. So we abandoned his office to hike across $4.99 to the cabin for sandwiches and beer. Noticed on the way in how the barmaid was hot. And were our roles reversed, I'd have to card her. Now, when I say she was hot, I don't mean in some kind of faked up, tricked out, mass-produced, faux Hollywood spray-painted kind of way. No, everything about her said organic, homegrown, one of a kind. And the nature of her hotness specifically was that of a tiny teapot simmering on a back burner, quietly, not whistling nor rattling, but just below the point of boiling, so that if you were to crank up the heat a notch or two, oh my. We found a table, began to peruse the menu, and just like that, there was the little barmaid. But she wasn't there to take our order. No, she starts chattering about how, as it happens, this very afternoon, she is staging a kissing contest, and she's looking right at my friend, really concentrating on him. So much so, I'm suspicious. Maybe this contest is just a ruse to hit on him. Specifically, I'm thinking, another victim of the overbite. But Lonnie wasn't going for it. He never told me why, but, well, I know that look he gets, and when he's adamant about something, you will not move him. Seeking to spare the girl embarrassment, I mentioned that I happen to be within arm's reach and have no reservations concerning participation. She hesitated not more than a moment before beginning to lean down and in. I rose to meet her, and taking her firmly by head and shoulders, began to administer to her startled lips the legendary slow draw cross cut saw in my best possible rendition of it. When I released her, she straightened up, staggered back 2 steps, and just stood there, staring with a newly minted, dazed expression, before eventually turning, stumbling off to do the rest of the room. Once ensconced again behind the bar, she introduced me as the day's champion, and we could read her lips as she whispered to her girlfriend, "He's good, really good." They say a gentleman should never kiss and tell. And for once, they are right. It's just bad form, and it will come back to bite you. For girls, it's different. Girls always kiss and tell. And if you're a man and you've just kissed one reasonably well. Well, this is all good. In fact, who they tell is all their girlfriends. And that is the best advertising you will ever get.
What? You don't like my attempt at ballet here? Thank you very much, Shadowbird. Up next, we have Herb McLeese, whose favorite summer beverage is a very cryptic answer of some are better than others. Herb, come on up.
Puns either. Hello? That should be pretty good. I wish I had come here more often, but I've been otherwise occupied. Let's see if I can raise this. Good. This poem was suggested by a remark of a friend of mine who's pushing 90, when she said she wanted to be buried, her ashes scattered on Mount Rainier. Some of you have heard it. My ashes. I want my ashes scattered on Mount Rainier. I want them carried to the top and cast to the winds, so their almighty broom will sweep them into the clouds, and Boreas can mill them into dust. Then I want each grain of dust, irregular and dark, to be redeemed by the dew, attracted to its rough shape, and through a freezing art, make the broken grain the heart of a fragile snowflake, unique and white, slowly spinning as it sidles downward, spelling in its geometry an unheard crystal harmony. Or in warm air, that a grain of dust seed a water droplet for a bit of cloud. I would like to float with these cloudy bits, too small to fall, in a wisp of the mountain sentinel cloud, suspended between earth and sky, and be there when the cloud is blown east by a Pacific front, and ride with them on its airy river, in drifting reverie over jack pine-covered foothills, and then sere grasses of the prairie. And where, when it meets a cold front from Canada, I'm shaken awake by their turbulent Congress in time to witness the birth of a great storm, reaching into the stratosphere, patrolled by flashing lights and rolling thunder. At the heart of the storm, droplets dancing, caught in a vertical game of pitch and toss, and growing heavier with each rise and fall to earth, till at last, with countless more, too big to float, they begin to fall to earth, or in a downdraft, be driven from heaven. Here in a cloudburst with battering hail, or there in an April shower as small rain. Rain to soak the parched fields of the Palouse, and to pelt the back of another boy emerging from a pool with such vigor that he too will look up and behold the thundercloud, dark and churning with a greenish hue and chilled in its downdraft. Remember the smell of lightning and the sting of hard rain.